One more game for this evening. We get to see G2 in action and lots to be discussed regarding the French roster. The Samurai have undergone some changes. We'll be talking all about that as they take on Astralis in 2 maps. Mirage and Inferno we'll be digging our teeth into. I say we. Got myself the Punovic and the Birchill. Just mixing it up, keeping things interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we're going to be getting into this one. So gents, it's hard to not address the elephant in the room, and I feel like that's what we're going to be conversing, because over the course of this 2 weeks period, you know, from Pro League last week to where we find ourselves now, we started by having a lot of words of critique for G2 and how there were some faults in their structure and in their roster and in their results. Now we find ourselves here in week 3, and though the roster we're about to see is not different, there have been huge changes. I think we should just jump straight into them. Yanko, you want to take us away?
Yeah, absolutely. The big change is Shock's not being a part of the lineup anymore. He's moved to the bench, and also Smith, his longtime buddy as well, wants to go back to competitive play. So he's not going to be coaching the team anymore. And as a result of that, they have Mixwell on a trial period. You know, we saw his tweets a couple of months back when he came back from North America that he's going to put some extra work into his French lessons. He used to speak it almost fluently, as far as I'm aware. And, you know, it's a situation where MBK takes up the in-game leading role too. So a bit of a switch up. In the end, it was Shocks wanted to make a major overhaul of the roster and the roles. Some of the other players and the org weren't really going along with his idea, and as a result, he's the one who got banned.
Here's the problem we had, and we had the discussion multiple times. I know you and Henry on this side of things last week went in on the scenario, but for me, that roster, the one we're going to see tonight, has clear-cut roles. Like, you should be able to make this team work. You should be able to set a system, and that team should have worked. The problem is, and I'm assuming we got to this impasse, is egos, right? Is the sense of people not being able to get past personality issues. We did hear rumors of motivation stuff, but let's just look at the one shining light here, the one guy that Yank and I have been praising for this G2 roster for almost the entirety of the time. NK, he's still involved in the project. Maybe he can have a chance now to have a bit of impact.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, of course, Shocks wasn't making his decision exclusively because of his performance and his comfortable nature with the team, whatever it may have been. It wasn't just that. He's also, of course, going under the knife. He's going to be having surgery, and we're going to actually had an opportunity for our camera crew to speak to him about this surgery. We're going to go ahead and hear what he had to say.
Hello, guys. It's Shocks from G2 Esports. Talking about my wrist problem, I'm going to the surgery on the 23rd March. Since I know it, the pain is way more harder, so it's hurting me a lot because of the psychological thing, I guess, since I know it. I can't do anything right now. I just have to wait for the surgery, so I don't play that much CS because it's really hurt me too much. So I'm just trying to play like at least 1 hour before a match and to play the match, and so the pain is, I can handle it. I hope to get fast on track. After my surgery, I have totally 2 weeks off, which I don't know how to say it, but I won't be able to move my wrist or my hand for 2 weeks, and then it's just gonna be about re-education. The doctor said to me that I will recover my full dexterity between 3 weeks and 2 months. So I think I will be able to play, but I still don't know how I'm gonna feel. I will have to wait after the surgery to test, and hopefully it's gonna be fast. So I will just try, I guess, to relax as much as I can and to make everything sure that when I come back, like, I can come back at 200%. Talking about my team, of course it will affect it. I think the biggest chance to stay on a top level, I guess, is for them to not just too much think about it and not especially want to try to take my place and just playing like kind of how they want and how they feel in the game. I think that's the best thing for a short period to have good results. Yeah, of course, during this period, NBK or Apex maybe will want to try to call. That's just from my perspective what I think is the best for the team. But if they want to try another way, like, they will be on the server, so the most important thing is that what they do is that they feel comfortable with.
That was an interview done with Shocks over in Katowice. So, of course, time has passed and things have changed for some of that, but this surgery info is still rather informative. In fact, I think the thing that struck me most there, gents, and of course, we didn't actually know even the date, we learned that, but also just that this is going to be quite a while where we don't see Shoxy in the server.
And it's probably like a good thing that he's going to be out of this team, right?
Yeah.
And with Smith, so the whole thing here is we can get into speculation about these rosters, but the fact that these guys are both no longer part of this G2 roster means a French team will have both of these guys together at some point.
Yes.
But going into the situation we have now with Shox and this issue, he's just going to, it's the mental thing that he had, right? The mental block and wanting to perform. Well, now that he's no longer a part of the roster going into this game right here, either he can just do whatever he wants, or he can be as bad as he wants. And as competitive players, they always want to get as many frags on the board. So I assume in this game, the whole team is just going to play super loose. It's just going to be a run around, a bit of a more puggy G2 than usual.
I'd be scared if I was Astralis.
If possible.
Yeah. I don't know what, I just feel like if you're Astralis, you know this is like a nothing to lose game. And the history books of Counter-Strike state that the teams that come in with nothing to lose don't tend to.
There is potential for them to just go off, you know, and have a very dominating performance. But also, if things don't start well for G2, they might just fall apart in the game, and Astralis might just run over them. For me, what was interesting from the interview is, you know, we had some mixed messages. You know, some of the messages we got beforehand were that actually his wrist injury isn't that, you know, diminishing of his performance until the surgery, that he can play pretty much, you know, he can play the games. It's not going to have an impact on his performance, but apparently, you know, he has pain, so he can't even, you know, warm up more than an hour before the official games, which obviously sucks.
Yeah, I mean, that is a huge impact on a regime. You know, we just referenced even in our previous game, you expect between 1 week and another to have played 7 Infernos. It's highly unlikely that Shox was able to put those hours in, never mind for a full practice regime.
Yeah, and with a team like G2, with the way that they were kind of structured and stuff anyway, I'm not sure, unless, exactly, right? But I think, you know, coming into this matchup here against Astralis, you're bang on. We saw that from Astralis themselves when they had Dennis and Ravinus that stand in late last year while Device was out with illness, right?
Yeah.
And they look like a better version of themselves than what we had seen for the last few months before that in terms of flair in the server. Now coming into this for G2, with 5 guys on the team who are all explosive players who can all turn it on at any point and carry a game, that is, like you're saying, a very scary prospect.
Yeah, and also a mad secondary offer in Mixwell. But I think it's also going to be interesting seeing MBK in the in-game leader role.
It should have been, right?
Yeah, I think he has a great mind for Counter-Strike. I think he has a good understanding of the game. It's going to be interesting to see, you know, whether he has the temper for it, right? Because obviously you need to be very patient when you're the in-game leader. You know, you need to have understanding for teammates' mistakes, and you have to be super focused on the big picture, right? On the game plan and on the calling, and in the silly rounds they're going to be lost. You need to be the most focused and concentrated one to keep steering the ship the right way.
Yeah, Nathan's demeanor to me, though, has always seemed like a relatively passive, humble, professional kind of guy, right? So I'm assuming if he can just carry any of that through to being an in-game leader and not let it be overwhelming, which is the hardest thing to do, I think, not let the in-game leadership role be too overwhelming for the player, then he's going to be fine at it, because he normally plays like a bomb site anchor role, or, you know, he's playing a support position, which tends to be what in-game leaders do, more that supportive one as opposed to the bomb site anchor. But he's going to have more time to think about things, be able to make calls. I think it's a move that G2 probably should have had from the beginning.
I think a lot of people actually kind of wondered why that wasn't a move made sooner. I know that whenever you talk to NBK, you hear him in interviews, he clearly has a very kind of calm mind for Counter-Strike, and very much, I'm sure, with NK as well. When you see those two talk together, very often you'll see them having exchanges at events. They do seem to be like quite a duo that will work well. Yeah,
and obviously there was clear division in the team where it was either, you know, Shox or someone else. If you're willing to bench a player like Shox, I mean, we know how high his skill ceiling is, one of the best players in the world when he's on point. So that's really making a statement from the rest of the guys in G2 as an org that, you know, we want to have this team play the right way, and we need to have the players who are willing to play that way. And I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
I think a sign as well that we're going to be getting a more brawly style of Counter-Strike out of G2 this evening, with Shox standing in or still on the team until Mixwell gets back from China, whatever, the grey area, is they play Mirage. And we know Mirage is the map where Apex traditionally was the caller, and that it wasn't really a map that they, you know, put a lot of practice into. They kind of just went with the flow. So We're going to see more of that this evening.
And historically, in the last 3 months, one of their more successful maps. So,
Strangely, right?
yeah, let you work that one out for yourselves. But either way, their more chaotic map of all of their current plethora of different maps they play is the one that Apex is leading on. We get to see them go into Mirage first. Just a touch on Astralis as well. Just kind of expectations surrounding them. They have had time now with Magisk.
They just beat VP
Yes.
in the ECS.
16-12.
Yeah.
Not going to read into that whatsoever.
Positive
Me,
stock
who was
there.
top fragging, if that means anything. Either way, let's go ahead and just quickly introduce our casters to finish off this conversation. I want to get a little bit of because this is an interesting talking point. Shocks removed from G2. It didn't take anyone necessarily by surprise, but the fact that you're moving a hard hitter like that to the bench.
Sure, we only know what we see from the outside, right?
Yes.
We have no idea what the inner workings of the team are like. Maybe there was kind of relationship problems in there, and I'm not really sure. But I'm interested to see where it goes. Obviously, I can't see Mixwell being a full-time member going on.
No.
Surely that can't be the
He does speak
stance.
French.
From what he tweeted, like 6 months ago, saying, I'm going to learn some French now. And
No,
try to
work on his French. I
work
think
on his French.
he used to be able to speak French.
Okay, I just don't see that as a full-time signing for me. It doesn't
Not
seem
convinced,
right.
Lauren?
It's too weird. There's so much talent you think they could go to. I don't know. I mean,
Zywoo, that's pretty much all I can think of off the top of my head.
Well, we'll see whether
Yeah.
he crops into the scene soon.
Yeah, well, finish his studies. One final question, Lauren, I'll let you run with this and leave you to it, but NBK, as a leader, I know he's someone that you speak to in the scene as well. You know how he has a mind for Counter-Strike. What do you reckon, taking that leadership role?
I think that mentality that he has is perfect for it, right?
Yeah.
But it's a question of can he put it into practice? Is it worthwhile taking shocks out of it? The value of what he's done or what the team has done is going to be very, very curious if it actually pays off in the end. And I think we're going to see the proof in the pudding once it actually comes through. But
Yeah.
today's not the day to find out if it's actually...
Yeah, you're casting this one. I mean, we've just framed it here on the desk. We just framed, like, this is going to be either G2 just don't give a damn and
Which
are
is
just
also
gonna run at people.
terrifying.
That was my theory. I think Astralis are probably quaking in their boots.
They might be revitalized. I feel like there's no
running
pressure
around.
tonight, just like, well, no one's expecting us to win, so why not? Let's just run around. The results haven't been amazing so far in Pro League, and we'll see if they can step up right here, right now, on Mirage. G2 starting on the CT side. As you can see, Shoxy is playing this evening. He is due for surgery at some point. I thought it would be coming in by now.
Pretty
but
soon, you'd
yeah,
imagine.
I was told he's only playing the first week, but it's the 23rd from confirmation from the Peanut Gallery. We know exactly what's going on now. So 5 sets of armor for the CTs. Astralis will have the smokes, the Molotovs, the HEs. That HE will go towards CT spawn. The Molotov probably towards Sandwich or the post plant. We'll see what happens here, but it will be an A-sided attack. CTs are ready and waiting. You've got Shoxy and indeed Body waiting for the attack.
Well, we'll see how well they receive this. Smokes are up, flashes are in. It's a pretty quick hit from Astralis, though, and Body's not really been uncovered. He's been able to get away with murder here at this point. The shots were not prime until that point, however. Glaive goes down. That's the bomb. Now, Astralis have gained control through jungle. They're playing back towards Connector, and that's pretty nice from Zipnix to find Apex. Shock's next to the challenge, but he's going to land that one. Not going to let this slip just away yet, but this is a very scrappy round so far. Dupree and Device going to pull it back to check, but Shocks, that's 2 kills, and the bomb yet to be planted. This is still very much alive and kicking. Device giving away a little bit of the game here, but if he works out where Dupree might be at this point, Shocks can be such a nuisance.
Well, he's going for the long con here. He wants to get all the way towards B. Even if he doesn't, he's got a good chance of killing Shoxy in transition. So, nice call. They're together now, and they know Shoxy is nowhere to be seen. He's removed. But if he goes up towards short, which it looks like he is going to do, he still has a fighting chance here. Unfortunately, no kit, but the bomb will be planted towards the kitchen. He's got a massive task here to take some damage from the window. Now he's not really sure which bomb site could it be at. He'll be able to hear the bomb ticking away at this point. He'll come in. He'll make as much noise as possible. He knows the game is up, and hopefully find the one-shot kill on Device. Not going to happen. Has to go and dance around the bomb here, touch it. They know that's not going to be legit. They won't even challenge that. He hasn't got a kit, and he'll have to make some noise at some point.
Well, Shocks, it doesn't look like this is the one to start off for him, but there we go. Dupree with a nice bit of recovery, but a really scrappy beginning. We said this was going to be a bit of a brawl.
Yes.
I didn't expect it in the pistol round, but I
No.
guess, why not start as you mean to go on?
Well, Mirage pistols are very easy to predict. I've casted 1,000 of them now, and it's obviously the 2 smokes going in, the Molotov, the HE. I can pretty much build it up every single time I see that buy. The fact is G2 saw it coming, had the great positions, but Body couldn't hit those shots at all. If he gets maybe 2 kills there, they probably win the round. He missed a lot. He had a lot of ground to work with, but couldn't capitalize on it. There will be a force buy from G2, of course. They are a French team. They bring out the CZs, the P250s, and Deagles. Watch out for a lot of that, Lauren. We've cast a lot of Pro League here. They love a force buy.
Love a
they
force
really
buy?
enjoy it, yeah.
Okay.
So they'll do a boost in towards B. There's actually 5 players stacked in towards the B bomb site here. And Astralis not rushing. That is good news. We've seen a lot of blunders recently in high-level CS of rushing B or Mirage. When you're up against the Pistols, getting mowed down. It's happened at the Major, happened over in Kiev, and it looks like this will be a B attack, but it's going to be much more methodical. You can see the grenades coming in, they're splitting it, and it's looking very clean so far. 3 kills coming in. KennyS and Apex can't do much about this. Apex have got 1 consolation frag, but KennyS detected in the boost. 4 players survive from Astralis, and they only give 1 up, so that's absolutely fine. Up against a full eco here. Should be a guaranteed round. I said that with bated breath because I say that sometimes, and I have seen this win a lot recently. 5 USPs.
I'm loving with your casting. Always has this kind of like.
I'm so scared
caveat
now.
to things just because
I've
it's
got to make
CS:GO.
sure I say certain things. I used to be so happy to say, oh, well, they've only got pistols. It's obviously a guaranteed round. And now I'm just like, you know what? Anything can and will happen, especially online. So I just say they should win. I'd say there's like a 90% chance they should win this round. If they don't, that's amazing. There's something awesome has happened or a massive blunder has occurred, and that's exciting. So we love it. So you've got to find the silver linings where you can.
Right. And well, looking at this round, it's going quite nicely. Astralis kind of tended towards A, maybe felt out the stack a little. They got that player in towards connector, which will be Device, so he can kind of deny any rotations through middle. That bomb can go up scot-free towards B, and there's no one else here. And Zipnik's, well, that UMP will be put through wonders of action. Going to get plenty of kills, plenty of money built up, and Astralis 5 alive and in a good spot.
This is what we call the bonus round now, because you know G2...
You mean the Jaden round?
No, that only occurs when you've got 5 SMGs coming into this round.
Oh, I see.
I think you need to look up your CS terminology if you're going to drop that.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. No,
teach me the ways.
you're new to this season. You're trying to find a name for yourself.
Yeah. I'm getting there.
Force buy means that now they don't have helmets on 3 players, right? And these SMGs can cause a lot of damage. There's run and gun plays with the UMPs. You go for a faster strat here, a set piece usually, but KennyS will be shutting that down. Good shot to kick things off, and that's through the smoke. Finds Dupree, but still a lot of work to do here. Like I said, a fast B split coming in. Shoxy will hear the footsteps coming up, but he hasn't told his teammate. MBK was back to the incoming players from shore. Apex got a lot of work to do now.
The absolute murder just occurred then. Apex does find Magic, so it's certainly not over yet. There's threats still aplenty towards B. Quick rotations from G2 now coming in. And where's that bomb? Still isolated on short. Doesn't want to commit yet. And you can see as to why. Great work from Apex. And this is a very spicy game, but he's made it away. Glaive never fully committed up short. So he's going to get a plant, get a good off-plant position too. I doubt they're going to get to short this quick. And very brave for the sake of a ramp plant, it looks like. So, I mean, he's risked a bit. Look at utility left on G2. They've got so much.
They have no kids, though, and he's doing his classic play. If you remember, over in Katowice, he made one of the most epic plays on Mirage with this exact strat. Planting like this, running all the way around towards short, hoping that they're going to fumble. And they are going to drop a smoke on the bomb. I'm sure we have to look at that in a second. They're going for the full defuse, but Glaive now, if he can get one of these players down, which he does, he nails it. I don't think that'll be enough to win the round. Even, might be. I think he has got this.
No kit.
This will be very close indeed. This is going to be like touch and go. He's got it there by the looks of things. It's absolutely fine. Bomb defuse will come in, and it will be Apex to save the day. But nice attempt there by Glaive. Instantly kills the player defusing there. But good trade from Apex there. The problem is only 1 player survives for G2. They're going to have a mixture now of rifles, UMPs, maybe with some shotguns. They really want to get more utility. The AWP, not a possibility. Apex was not able to save that. So there's a UMP for body. MP9 for MBK. Sign of the times right now. Lose this round, going to be double eco going forward. So G2 need consecutive rounds here. But that's such a tall order. They do not have the KennyS AWP to rely on.
And what a beginning that was in the last round. Finding Dupree for free right through the smoke. Absolutely perfect. That's what you want to be happening. Nothing you can do to really make it happen. I mean, good timing to it, but
not sustainable.
but it's always a nice bonus.
Yeah, nice, good, very beneficial, absolutely. But for now, you can see them playing in front of smokes here, potentially trying to find that first frag. This is what has to happen when you're under-equipped in terms of weaponry and utility. You can't let a team just fully collapse on an A-bomb site. So they're playing inside the ramp, trying to react to any smokes that are thrown over. And you can see here, Zipex, he will be making his way towards his position. He won't be able to spot them, but he definitely is in a lot of trouble if he throws any sort of grenades here, as his teammates get towards the connector. The bomb is still down in T-spawn. They've actually fluffed their lines a bit here. If he gets dropped, they have no way of picking that bomb up, so he has a lot of pressure on his shoulders.
Device now gets that in mind. He's heading back over, but by now, surely the game's kind of up here.
Wow.
They've worked it out, but Shox still stands. He stays alive. Apex finding Magic still adds issues, and Shox will not be stopped. And now Device left to deal with it. He does. That's perfect from him, but still a 1v2 to get past. Having the bomb is a great step in the right direction, but he's still got to navigate his way around, make some sort of educated guess here.
He played the def cam there slightly, so he killed the player, picked up the bomb, ran towards A, waited a couple of seconds, and that's the information you get. Once you die, you get to view the the retreating player for a little bit. So he tried to fake out he's going towards A, but he's obviously ran towards the B bomb side now. 25 seconds and MBK is in the window. He can't do anything to deny this plan. Won't go for the short plan. He'll actually go for more of a bench/van kind of position. I haven't seen this plan used before. See where he goes with it. As MBK already has come through the kitchen, so he probably wins the round at this point, but Device is making a play. Wants to get in that window. They're going to sneak by each other. This is a nightmare. Apex has no information. Guaranteed to go down at this point, but the trade should come in. Jump through. Oh no, the timing is unbelievable. This is CSGO in a nutshell, is it not? As MBK completely loses track, but does get the kill. Both players unaware of each other's position, and another 1v1 clutch comes in favor of G2.
There's a world where that works out, where just in some weird situation, he turns around and he just gets that spot. But
absolutely.
Yeah, G2 do manage to get the round on the board in the end, or MBK specifically, should I say. But Shox here, able to get away with a hell of a lot, actually, considering they've kind of worked this out to a degree.
Where was the trade from Zipex there? I was wondering. So he's stuck on this A round there. Why is he not swinging around as soon as his teammate's called? He's low on the A round. You need to trade that one out. Device left in the 2 versus 1. Good attempt, and they will have money for one more buy here. They know if they can win one of these, it's going to completely ruin G2. So whoever wins this round will be taking the lead and getting the 4-3, hopefully. We'll see what happens.
Kenny looking for a new opportunity here. Different angle, new look. Doesn't get the timing on it and is in a little bit of a predicament. Has to back away. No armor as well, so of course this will hurt. But he does get away eventually, can readjust. He's not under threat just yet, but you can see G2 now shuffling around, trying to find new positions, new approaches, as mid has been pretty much taken by Astralis. Glaive on towards Kenny. He eventually goes down. That's B completely open. There's no one else here.
That is absolutely true. The bomb's still down in T-spawn, but it doesn't seem like it'll be a factor here. Glaive makes his way towards the kitchen. They do recover the aforementioned C4. Dupree holding the connector. They've got everything covered here. This should be impossible to lose. I would say that instead of impossible to win, I'm going to say impossible to lose. This is up to Astralis to completely throw it away.
And the throw begins. No, the feed might begin though, at least for Dupree there. He goes down to Shox, but with the bomb planted in great positioning from Glaive, if he doesn't feed, you're fine. And again, if you're G2, you kind of want to keep control of a lot of this, but I don't know if you're going to get that chance. Already Device to find Shox is looking like he's hungry for this one. Take those guns away and make G2 suffer a little bit in this situation. Body already down so low, and Zipnik's kind of controlling, herding them forward. This is still very much a problematic stance for G2. They need to be quite cautious in how they're approaching this, as those guns are paramount to their survival here.
They absolutely are, and Apex will be fighting tooth and nail as he gets the first kill. Can he get any more? Apparently not. Glaive looking sharp tonight. He gets a couple kills to finish things off, and that's going to be double eco territory for G2. Like I said, Lauren, at the start, they're a force buy team. I expect them to go CZ's armor now. Will they go for it? Time will tell. They're going to get $1,900 next round, so even if they take a full eco here, they still won't really have significant weaponry, and indeed, all in they go. Deagles across the board, armor as well. Shoxy keeping his money a little bit stronger. He might be planning a double AWP setup with Kenny. We'll see if that rings true as the game develops, but a lot of difficult rounds coming up against G2 here. It's going to be another A approach, contact play. We call this as walking into the site until you find opposition. That's when you bundle in together. And Dupree knows he can cause a lot of damage and farm some cash at the Mac 10, but won't be able to do anything with it. Body with his Deagle. Can't find another. It will be a 3 versus 3 though. Still back and forth we go. No weapons recovered for the CTs. And once again, segregated. They have to wait for Glaive to rotate in before they make their final move.
And G2 very postured towards that mid-crunch they're going to try and flash in for, but it's played quite nicely to this. It's made it very uncomfortable for Astralis. Device, they're going to switch up to the rifle, give Glaive up the AWP, and Device can now unleash himself. He wants to go forward, get over those stairs, find a fight, and really finds the pointy end of the gun, really. That's going to hurt a little bit, and he actually goes down to Apex. This becomes pretty problematic now. You're left with 2 players alive. The bomb, still hands of Glaive, can get a smoke across.
2 smokes, in fact. So no gaps there, but there are the steps to deal with. He's going to go for the plant. Oh my goodness, this is really scrappy CS right now. And how does that not hit? It eventually gets him through the wooden boards, and that should be the round secure, unless Shoxy pulls off another miracle round of this Desert Eagle. And he will get one, and now things become uncomfortable. Shoxy, 15 HP, 35 seconds remaining. Glaive just trying to outgame him here as he tries to go for that fake defuse, doesn't spot him, and now running. Booking it towards the B bomb side. Shoxy is aware, but still, he only has 15 HP. 1 bullet will do it. 5-2, the force buy does not work out for G2. They'll have to take an eco now. Wow, this is turning into be quite the game. Lots of, sure, like the scoreline not that exciting, but the fact it's coming down to 1v1 pretty much every single round, that bodes well for this series.
Yeah, and it bodes well for G2, considering their money has been pretty much depleted, and, you know, for the last couple of rounds, they've been struggling on that front. P250 investment this time around. The MAC-10 still out on the T side. Those P250s can work quite nicely at range as well, sitting around the same point as the USPS, but Device going to just pick up the pace and go straight towards Connector. Not sure if he got a tiny glimpse of Shocks, and, well, it doesn't matter if you did see him or not. He is still doing damage, and Magisk, you up to the task. Well, he's going to get traded on. This is not ideal. Still for Astralis, scrappy as you like. And MBK wants a bit of the action too. He's going to run right into it though. And what is this? We've got a 1v1.
Again.
And look where that bomb is as well. It's so tricky. NBK has an angle. He's just perched up above.
I think almost every single round has been 1v1 this so far since the pistol. Well, here we go. Zipex, one of the absolute best in these scenarios, did read it well, but MBK didn't commit towards the jungle, and now they've lost track of each other. MBK doesn't know if the bomb's been obtained, and Zipex obviously has no idea as to where MBK resides. This is still wide open. It's not clear who wins the round. Sure, MBK has no armor, no defuse kit, but that's not really a factor here. It's all about positional control. Who comes out on top, and MBK will be looking on the ticket booth right now. Jumps up, can't spot the bomb. That doesn't really help him out too much here, but he will hear a flashbang or a smoke thrown there. I'm not quite sure. And Zipex really has no idea what's going on. I love this from MBK. If he comes towards the A side, it's all over, but he does head up towards middle. And he's checking absolutely everything. Zipex doesn't really know where to finish up here. He's hoping to find MBK in transition. Remember, MBK, no information as well, so it's all just a guessing game at this point. They're going to find each other.
They're going to have to. Just who gets the spots first at this point. Zipnik's watching that crossover. He's actually going to get the timing right on short. Somehow MBK just doesn't turn around at that time. He's keeping it in mind. The bomb plant will be coming in, but MBK can still get there pretty fast. But this is where the problem now swings back into MBK's hands, in the fact that he has no armor, so he has to land a bit of a blind shot almost and hope that Zipnix is just not there, and that's great from MBK! No armor. The round and round they went, and eventually it worked out. Zipnix had the cross, he had the plant, but the timing on MBK coming up short was so good for him.
That's crazy. Well, what a round that was. The 1v1s continue. Finally, G2 come out on top, and he'll take an AK-47, a Molotov, an HE, and 3 kills into the next round. 5-3 will be the scoreline, and G2 are back in business. Should be able to afford the AWP here. Massive round for them to win. They could even go double AWP if they want to at this point. Here's Kenny S, and this was really sloppy. The fact that Magisk committed to this kill afterwards, such an awkward angle, he just runs around knowing he's going to die. I don't like that at all. That's not required, and they do recover it, but still, he didn't have to go down there. They could have been calmer, let that one gun go, and just play the round together. But MBK, great work, well read, good timing towards short, found Zipex jumping on the van, and now Mirage is anyone's. As we'll have the AWP, as mentioned, go towards the connector. A real brawl of Counter-Strike right now. Two of the best AWPers on the planet going at it. Device, and indeed, Shoxy with that double AWP setup, and we'll take down Zipex.
This is a lovely battle. We already saw as well Apex finding Dupree. The entry fraggers on either side already clashing. Quite a matchup we're going to have here, it seems. 3 players standing for Astralis, though. You still have a Device alive with that AWP, so there's masses of potential for him to try and create opportunities. The G2 are really raring for fights, but they're going to have to fall off this. MBK going to have to keep in mind that the fact B could be still pressured, so he's going to put himself towards the site. Astralis looking at what they've got left. Still plenty of smokes, 2 smokes to be precise, able to be played in. Good couple of flashes, but they need that step. They have so little information, towards A or anywhere else really. That slow build towards B doesn't really give you too much.
Well, we'll see what their play is to finish the round off. They have got 1 player towards the underpass of the B apartments. We'll have a look. That's underpass is Magisk. He'll be looking towards the windows, trying to pick up a cheeky frag if possible, and Apex has offered himself up in a silver platter there. No need for that play whatsoever. Sure, he's hunting for information, but no way he can recover from that commitment towards the middle area. 3 versus 3, 30 seconds still with those aforementioned smokes, and it will be Device and his AWP making his way in towards the A site. Both players on this side of the map will be towards the jungle and connector. As you can see, Shoxy waiting towards the jungle. He might be smoked out here. They've got 2 smokes. They can't really deploy them in a safe manner to cover off that area right now. You have to do it from outside the bomb site. They can throw it in, but there might be a gap. That's better, though. That works tremendously. It's going to lock him out of the side. The body still has intel, trying to deny it, and that's what will happen. Round over. 5 seconds remaining. Device has to bail, and indeed Magisk as well. So took way too long there. I think once they got that pick on Apex, that was their cue to go. Nice shot to keep the gun in the game, but still, it will be 5-4 as GT claw their way back in. Remember, no changes have been made just yet. This might be MBK calling, but Apex famously calls on this map for them, even when they were pre-changed in terms of the roster.
No, I do. You just wonder how it feels, in that team, don't you? If there's any sort of, feelings hurt or any sort of discourse. But I mean, you're just playing a game, right? At this point, you're just going through the motions. You know those changes are done. There's nothing you can do to really change it up.
Yeah,
now.
we only can really tell what we see in the PR releases, right? We don't really know what's happened within this team. Was there a fallout? Why has the coach stepped down at the same time Shoxy has? Like, that opens up a lot of conversation for me. Historically, those two have always stuck together.
Yeah.
And Shoxy leaves the team, Smiths goes with him. And now Smiths stepped down as coach for this squad. Is he going to be potentially starting a team? Would we be with Shoxy? Is this all a bit of a ruse? I don't know. It's all quite interesting to see where it will go. I'm quite excited for the prospect of that.
An exciting prospect could be for Apex here. He's actually worked his way up incredibly far, pushed all the way out from
Hello.
B. He's going to get it all for free as well. Sprays in on one. He gets the second as well. Not as clean as you'd like, but it does the job. Dupree, though, in a little bit of a fun spot. Does at least get one, but by this point, his teammates have all fallen. They're all done.
Yeah, this was a partial buy from Astralis, and it looks like one that won't really lead too much. But a couple of kills, Kenny S. You can see this juggling the AWP way. He's like, no, you're not getting it. Even if you kill me, you'll have to pry this out of my cold, dead hands. And there we go. We tie it all up. Apex, yeah, you're right. Not the cleanest finish, but they all count. No harm, no foul, is what I usually say. As they get both
Is that
the
what
kills.
you usually
I
say?
usually say that.
Oh,
As long as it doesn't have any sort of implication the rounds going forward, I'm fine with it. As long as he gets the job done. Doesn't have to be pretty. But CZs and a Glock for Device. Pretty dire times now for Astralis after having that great lead. It all comes down to that clutch against the full eco players. And Molotovs, HE's deployed, but lots of good flashbangs from the T's are going to find a rifle. It's what we call a snowball effect at this point. If you get in and you get in with cleanly of no trades, all of a sudden you get a rifle, you start pushing forward to CZs. You're going to find kills just like that. Find those players rotating in towards the kitchen. It's going to be Body, though, fighting back. But the double orb setup on a retake here is a nightmare. Kenny has to hit some textbook no scopes here. They will find one of them. And there it is, the CZ doing its absolute best work. It's still alive for now. Can the info finish off the job? Not quite. P250 and indeed the AWP to finish things off. The retake didn't seem like it would be successful, but overall, quite a comfortable defuse for G2. And that's the power of the CZ. If you just get that one kill, so much run and gun potential. It's like a swarm of...
What swarms?
Locusts. A swarm of locusts going in
So
towards
it's
the
a
B-bomb
plague of
site.
Counter-Strike.
Exactly. That's actually, I think that's quite fitting.
Yeah.
Metaphor, in a way.
I'll go with it.
We'll see if that is... so maybe we can use that as our catchphrase. The locusts are coming their way towards the B-bomb site. The CZs. We have been quite tilted here, probably, with the CZ. Online, it's even worse.
It's even worse.
It's even worse. Like, you see some ridiculous things happen to CZ. Like I call them gun rounds. And it's like, well, it's a full buy. They've got armor, CZs, and utility. They're fully equipped, and we'll see how it works out for them.
Oh dear, CS:GO. It's a glorious game.
The thing is, well, like it's like the Tech 9 was outrageous, but that's just gone now. That's not even in part of the game. It's bought 3 times its Star Ladder, right? The entire tournament.
Yeah.
So that gun was nerfed and nerfed into
gone,
existence. You know.
Well, no CZs to be seen this time, sadly. What we can see, though, is Shox hitting that. Glaive goes down quite quickly. The Molotov to hinder the hit. Now Astralis are kind of in that awkward spot. You're just waiting for this to happen. That is a great swing of events, though, as Zipnix and Magisk both land the shots of the players who are actually quite attentive towards A. The other 3 are still locked out by the smokes. They're not quite there to hinder anything. The bomb plant yet to be put in, though. That's still in the hands of Magisk and not quite in a position. And Kenny S with an uncharacteristic miss. And it's going to be left in Shox's hands, and he is up to task. 3 more to find with MBK by his side. And MBK caught in the awkward moment of a jump. But position duly noted, he's still going to be making Astralis very uncomfortable as Device has to deal with him first. And now it's just Shox alive in the 1v3.
Yep, not really much he can do with this one, but that shot certainly opens up the window of opportunity. 2 versus 1 now. He reads the play towards CT spawn, but Dupree outpositioned him. Nice off angle there. No one's going to predict that, and Astralis tie things up. Back and forth we go. 13 kills for the leaders on each team. That's going to be Zipex for Astralis and Shoxy for the CTs in the form of G2. So that secondary orb is looking quite potent right now. 13 kills for him. Kenny S will, of course, buy again, double orbs once more. I think Shoxy at this point is like, you know what, guys, he's benched me. I'm going to be AWP in this game. Yeah. And MBK, you're not being part of the discussion. I'm doing this.
Why not? Be the bad boy of CS. Shox going to just try and play his way forward. Device does find Body, but Shox is now left in a really uncomfortable position. There's not much you can do to play out of that with an AWP. Kenny S did find one, but you're not going to stem the bleed here. Looks like Astralis are pretty much almost at point. Apex to find Zipnix, though, has hindered this. Makes it a little uncomfortable to play out from those apartments, and it will allow MBK to get closer, but even though the HP is low, that SMG isn't exact...
What? How's he done that?
It's fine.
He's got that kill as well. Not quite. Okay, the HE was tantalizingly close there.
On earth?
He hit an AWP in front of him, though. He could have picked up, right? Instead, he challenges Palace with an MP9. That is the world we live in. That's crazy.
Is there we could maybe find another part of the plague to summarize that sort of approach? We'll work
raining
on that.
frogs. Something like that.
Yeah, they are the French side.
In many ways.
My word, Henry.
That's
you
good,
are
isn't it?
quite the wordsmith.
Yeah.
And Apex now, the 1v2, playing it back in. He's got the position, but does he have any sort of time on this? No kit, but he's got the kill. Glaive going down, leaves it on device. Already 3 kills to his name. I don't think he's going to be giving this one away, surely not.
Well, knowing what kind of buy they had, he's probably aware they don't have a kit right now. He's not going to take the bait. Hello, and that is an easy kill, as easy as you would like. And it should be an eco now for G2. An admirable effort there with the MP9. As you can see, device, great shot. They try to get aggressive at the A ramp. Missed the first one, but didn't even intend to kill him. That's so sick. And gets both of them. He's like killing the other guy, and he's like, well, if you're going to give me one for free, I'll take it.
Freebies, why not?
And they're going to force buy. Here you go. This is what I was talking about. They love a force buy. MP9s, CZs, Deagles, a 5-7 for Kenny S. A rare appearance in the 5-7. It's only him and Rops using that, I think, from what I know, at least right now. So a push up from MBK. It's like a railgun for him, apparently. He'll be challenging this, no problem. Orpers, let me at him. But Mac 10's coming in as well. Flashbang to push any CTs back, but also in equal measure towards the top of middle. It's Flashbang Wars here, and you can see the damage of the MP9. It's done so much, almost 200 damage now. Kenny S will finish things off with the 5-7, and this is looking very uncomfortable as Kenny S won't be able to take down Glaive. My
that
goodness.
MP9, what is that? The Deagle gets outdone, but
this is
I
like
mean,
deathmatch right now.
it is. Like,
running around.
What are you meant to say about it?
Yeah.
MBK's found room, and that's the problem here. He's kind of ring around the roses with Device, so that if the bomb does come towards B, I don't think Device is going to be particularly watching this. Does Dupree spot it, though? I doubt it. So again,
hello.
Cool, why not? Dupree can just jump on him and hit him while he's falling.
Hit him with a meme, perhaps. Like, that's what I'd call that if I had to. As he jumps out of the apartment. 4 versus 1, and it will be Shoxy to take down at least 1 kill here. Will he be able to save the AK? That is yet to be seen. No! Zipex denies absolutely everything. They will be winning this half. Astralis looking poised. They're looking like the better team right now, but obviously G2 always going to have that deadly firepower that's going to keep them in rounds. Force buy again here. It's round number 15, of course, so they have to go Deagles. Maybe a scout for Kenny S. We'll see if he buys that. Goes for the 5-7 instead. So, Body, are you going to make any significant purchase? And he'll go for the CZ, so yes, he will.
So, you know, he goes for the full buy at least.
He goes for a full buy, yeah. He didn't want to.
I'm getting it now.
Didn't want to limit himself.
Yeah.
He goes for the cheaper pistol, which actually has more firepower than the M4.
Makes sense. Zipnix, though, does he realise? Does he work it out? Will he sense that the infamous gun is on the other side? Dupree going to be playing through Palace. Body is there. And, of course, it wins out. Henry loves to see it. We all love to see it. Pistols.
There we go.
So he does get the upgrade or downgrade. I don't know how you want to put it. 4v4 though, and let's look at this. Mid control is being exuded by Astralis, but MBK, why not just deathmatch your heart out? Go on, get on in there. Just jump through the smoke. Do something. Glaive will beat him to the punch. Finds him as the smoke was starting to dissipate, and it does put the numbers advantage at least in the hands of Astralis for now. But the red is being the hit is being red, should I say? Yes. And it's all pretty much signed, sealed, and delivered for Astralis.
Rock'em, Sock'em, Counter-Strike here, as we will be 9-6. 4 players remain up against Shoxy and his Desert Eagle. I have seen him do some disgusting things recently, but I don't think this one will be possible. Nice little flashbang there in CT spawn. You can see how that might be fun. But overall, it will be 9-6. After winning the pistol, I thought G2 would be completely wrecked, but they won that full eco, got them in the game, and has kept things competitive. As we will pretty much split the difference. It comes down to whoever wins pistol. If the Astralis win it, I feel like they will. Obviously, switching over to the CT side now, it is a more CT-sided map. But in this particular matchup, the kind of Counter-Strike I've seen so far, I don't think that really matters here. I think he's just going to be hitting harder in the second half. We'll find out.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, isn't it? This is very much a deathmatch.
Yes.
Neither team's playing particularly beautiful Counter-Strike, if you want to look at the strategic element, I guess. But we are seeing a Fragger Man.
That is right. Zipex, I'm more impressed with the ADR. That's insane.
Yeah, that damage is pretty spicy.
134. So he's not even just finding the kills. He's getting the assists, the Molotovs, the HE grenades, kind of rocking everything he possibly can in the first half. And Magis, 9 and 11. He was missing a lot in Pro League so far. I haven't been convinced by that signing as of yet.
Me neither. I still think it's kind of the... it's a bit of filler, and he's still a great player. There's no taking that away. But I think if you said to Astralis before this, would you want him in your team if if you had a pick? I don't know if he'd be on that top instant. Yeah, get him in. I think there could have been other options.
If I'm them, I'm thinking maybe Yugi. I'm like,
Yugi
you know
would've been
what?
sick.
Let's get Device with the Orbi Officer comfortable with it.
Yep.
Bring him in. He's looking like really good. Probably wouldn't be super expensive, I'm not
No.
sure. And then you get Device back on the AK where he wants to be, apparently. I don't really understand that, but that's where he wants to go.
Huh.
And then you got a really hard-hitting side there.
That'd been
And you have
really
a double
fun
orb
combo.
set up for the first time in Astralis, right?
Yeah.
But either way, we'll probably get back into this, as they will be finding headshots all over the place. They're going to find just 3 there at the very start, MBK and Body, to try and recover the situation. Good start, at least. MBK might be able to take down Zipex here, but he does get distracted, and for good cause as well. Looking for the 3rd frag now. They'll pick it up. This is a disaster from Astralis. Way too keen to try and close the round out. They'll challenge absolutely everything, and these are the most frustrating rounds to lose. This is a 5-on-2, but Dupree might have just saved the day with that kill.
Yeah, and he's falling away as well. He doesn't want to get anyone to have a chance to get back at him. Body is down so low as well. It makes it very, very tricky to find any avenue of approach. He could still get spotted by Glaive, and he does. There it is. Astralis do win the pistol, but it did look like that was about to fall apart. That first kill from MBK,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, okay, he's found one. But then the spiral off the back of that as they kept coming.
I just mentioned the double orb prospect for Astralis, right? And you'd think after Dupree's experiment at the major, they'd be bringing that into their game going
Yeah.
forward, right? They'd think, oh, now at least we get 2 orbs
we
out of
can do
this.
it, yeah.
But they still don't do it. They don't do it at all. They're the only top-level team, to my knowledge, that don't consistently run a double orb setup when the money's right. They never go to it, and that's really bizarre to me. After you've trained Dupree up, was that just a complete waste of time? Was that just 6 months you just completely didn't do anything beneficial, and you thought, well, scrap all that. We won't
It's
even
done.
use those skills he picked up. And it's really weird to watch that happen.
I think there's a lot of discussion topics that people could talk about with Astralis, a team that seems to have all the potential in the world to do many, many great things, and then it's just like, well, where is that? Where's that
Sure.
next step? So I think that'd be great to get the old
Well, I
NLS
was
steps boys or you on.
rabbiting on there. They didn't get the bomb down in pistol, did they? So they're going for the classic G2 Strata Force by Galils in the 3rd. Yeah. So they're getting to... It's the old bamboozle. The problem is it's very predictable because as you're killing these players right now, you can sense they haven't got armor, and every team force buys in the 2nd round if they don't get the bomb down. So the fact they've got Glocks, no armor here, Astralis will be aware. They won't be doing anything silly into the next round. They know this is a play. There'll be 5 Galils, maybe 1 AK into the next, and it's a really cool strategy because you know a team like Astralis like to focus on SMGs. You bring out AKs and Galils and armor into the next round, and you've actually got a really strong chance of winning it. So I'm sure that will be coming in. We'll have a look. See if that's getting it done with the MP9. Mowing them down, and there they are. Galils and a couple of AKs. Actually not too bad if you look at it.
No, it's a
actually,
decent purchase.
It's all right. You get a couple of smokes in there, 4 helmets. It's not too a couple of compromises with Shoxy gets the AK no helmet, but still, this is, in terms of firepower, they're looking stronger than Astralis right now.
Yeah, the only, obviously, one rifle on the other side is with Glaive, so I mean, they're still going to try and make it count. They still have far more utility. They have all of that, obviously working on Astralis' favour, but if you're Astralis, surely you know this is a possibility. And you still run into it. MBK going to claim Magisk almost for free. No trade back, nothing really found, and very limited information apart from seeing that no one's there.
And in that 5-on-2, whatever it was, MBK got 3 kills, right? So he gets an extra $900 on top of his teammates, so he can get the AK out. Body got a couple in that 2nd round, so this is why it works out. But they're not going to check short. That could have been disastrous. As Device looks to pick up the pieces here, he'll have Kenny in front of him. He actually is a very proficient rifler. People don't give him enough, I guess, benefit of the doubt in that respect. They just assume he's going to be poor with that weapon. He's actually really good with the rifles, as Glaive and Dupree will start to go to town now. 2 versus 2. Shoxy comes in from the Palace area, and Dupree, you are done for, my friends. Body executes him, and now it's a 2 versus 1.
All right, Glaive, the only man who had the rifle at the beginning for the CT side, going to try and keep the odds in their favour, maybe make it to that 12 marker, but I doubt this will be the round.
It could be. They've checked CT spawn, but they now smoke it. They suspect he could come through, and looking in that position, Shoxy should be able to take him down together. And it will be G2 with the cheeky 3rd round force buy that works out quite nicely. They still have money to buy Astralis. Not out of the woods just yet, G2, I'm afraid. But 11-7, round number 4 coming in. We can buy an AWP on the CT side. Maybe even the T's as well. No, not going to be the case. They'll have 4 AKs now. A Galil Device does have the AWP and 14 kills to his name so far. Everyone fragging pretty equally on the Astralis side. No one dropping off significantly.
I'd like to see more from Magisk, if I'm honest. You know, considering he's meant to be part of the, the firepower team. It'd be
Well,
nice
I say
to
that
see him
about
there.
Kiabi on North as well now. Like, he's brought in to be the star player. I didn't feel like he was a star on Astralis, right? Now he goes to North. Doesn't really look like it's caused him a
either.
resurgence, right? He's like, wow, he's back. It's like they're losing to Heroic earlier, right? That was 2-0, quite convincingly. Like,
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for that team to wake up as well.
Well, a lot to be seen, but this is where we are right now. The round begins, the
that nade.
smokes are up, and that nade could do well. It does connect. Body and MBK both get chipped away at, but everyone's still alive here. Considering the hits come in, everyone on the CT side kind of hits back for a second. They just kind of slow it down, but Glaive gets found by MBK, who's been really quite good at the moment. He's been hitting some shots to create so much space for the T-side to work in, but doing pretty quickly on the flank, gets found by Shox, and that seems like the forever going battle between these two as well, which mostly has been won by Shox this time. But the 3 remaining players from Astralis really have no step towards this. It's time to back away.
And that's why Shox is going hunting right now. He knows they're saving at this point. He's going to try and beat them towards the B-bomb site. He has booked it all the way through the apartments here. Device will be setting himself up. Will he expect Shoxy here so early? He'll hold the very tight angle right here. He doesn't know Shoxy's already got past, but he might be able to flick and recover. Nice shot from Device. And Shoxy could do nothing about that. 3 players to survive for Astralis, but the round goes in favor of G2. They'll be saving on the city side 2 smokes, an incendiary, no kits, but the AWP and the M4s. Their money was going to be wrecked. They had to make the calculated decision just to fall back and say, right, we have no money next round, but with 3 weapons, some CZs perhaps, or I don't know, UMPs, we can win the round. So we'll see what they go for. I presume maybe a FAMAS, or there's a CZ for Dupree, tapping on the pistol. Glaive might go for something a bit more significant. No. They'll just go for the CZs here. So maybe they go for an aggressive play towards underpass or something.
Sure, I did forget actually. I remember speaking to the Astralis guys because they find it so hard to play against the French teams. They don't like the mentality that they play with. It's not the CS that they like. And then you add in this kind of brawly aspect of obviously Shox and the longevity of this team now as this lineup is kind of over. I can imagine they are very frustrated playing up against a very brawly match here if you're Astralis, because that French-style CS has never boded well for them. And speaking of boding poorly, that beginning, Magic's already gone. Kenny S can find him and really just thinning the herd away here. Glaive does get the gun, but it's...
Okay,
What?
I thought they were out of the round with all the smokes going down, but they're actually right back in this one now. 4 versus 3. They have got 1 kit on Dupree. And Device, he gets completely flashed. He wouldn't have got the shot either way, so that's fine. He'll be looking towards the palace right now. If Kenny S does dare peek, he will go down. They'll smoke it instead. That's a good play. That's going to at least remove that player from the equation, throwing 1 flashbang through. Kenny S might challenge. Indeed, he does. He just jumps out. He wants to be part of this battle as he gets behind enemy lines. Can he get anything out of this? He gets 1. A stray bullet catches Dupree. The Glaive and Device doing everything they can, and it might just be enough here. I'm not sure. It looks like the round is going to go up, and what a game this is turning out to be. Certainly the brawl, Chad, built it up to be. It's back and forth, and the save looked like it was going to work out there for Astralis. They managed to get all the kills required. Glaive through the smoke here, but Kenny S, the hero play, jumps out of the apartments, and like I said, 1 stray bullet hits one of the ensuing CT players, and there's nothing they can do now. They might just have to partially buy around this AWP, this Deagle, CZs, and Device might want to consider getting towards the connector, something like that. Flash over, try and find the first pick, and then reposition.
Just looks like the A hits are going to keep coming. G2 have found something that they like to work with, and hey, why not stick to it if it's something that feels good at the moment. Glaive going to find a new way to try and play it, but Magisk already goes down again. Shock's going to find him so quickly. He has taken some damage, but the smokes are up. Everything's looking good. Astralis are locked out of the site, unless obviously Glaive hits like some crazy shot through smoke again, but the bomb plant should be in, kind of uncontested. No one can really find an angle unless they try and go through. The shots are close, but only a tag. Body stays alive. And in a 5v4, Astralis desperate for a way back through, but it's just not happening now. Flash comes in and Body goes aggressive. These guys want the fight. They want to get this one done, but Body solo now goes himself. What is this? A 4v4?
Yeah, they might as well consider saving the Device, but he's finding kills again. Maybe they have got a chance in this one, but that should have been hit by Kenny S. He has looked off the mark as of late, and that's normally one of his most trademark shots, a player jumping across his crosshair. But either way, it looks like the CTs might be giving in at this point. They have not got a kit. Shoxy confirms it. The round will be out of their grasp, but they did cause some uncomfortable situations. As you can see, Device gets another, but he gets dropped, and I think that's Yorp now officially out of hand. And Astralis might be left out of pocket as well, as Dupree will save the AK. They've got a Deagle on Glaive, so they're okay. And we get into round number 7, 11-10. Nothing really separating these two teams now. Will they go for the double AWP setup? That's the big question. Maybe they want to experiment with this formation. This would be a good game to do it. But not going to be in that sort of mentality right now, it seems. M4 for Magisk, AK for Dupree, and Device once again heading towards the A site, and indeed that connector.
Kenny going to be trying to catch anyone. That's going to be Zipnix if he does push up here, but G2 looking for a little bit of a different look, cutting a new figure. So we have been seeing those A hits time and time again, but on the buy around, they've switched things up a little bit here. Body's starting to build up through underpass. It's Glaive who's got eyes trained towards this, but he's got a time limit on when he feels comfortable. Going to pop up a molly towards the top of middle and try and buy a little bit of time, and both of these players desperate for that. A little bit of a pixel out of place. Flash going to come out from Body, and it could be go time for him to swing on that angle. Doesn't see anything, but Glaive going to come back in at the right timing. The spray is good as well. Body goes down. He can't follow it up. But still, information passed through and now to the 4v4. G2 haven't gained much ground, but it's Device win out against Kenny S over by B that might just swing this one.
He just about gets the best of him there, down to 12 HP. They're locking horns in the B apartments, but Device coming out on top this time. MBK, Apex, and Shoxy to try and recover what looks like a round that is out of their grasp, but we'll see. 45 seconds remain. They have got a couple of Molotovs. That's about it. Does not bode well for the French here. As Zipex holds a defensive position, an off angle you'd call this. No one's going to be pre-firing that, and you'll see whether he can just get one, fall back behind that pillar. This is it right now. There it is, Zipex perfectly played. Has to be round guaranteed. MBK, the new in-game leader, will not be winning this one. And Astralis extend the lead by 2 rounds, 12-10 now. 4 players surviving. They've put the money in the proverbial bin for G2. Will they force buy here? If they could buy Tech9 still, I'd say possibly. CZs, even on the T side, I would not say this is worth the investment. They can buy up next round on the T side. They'll have more than enough money. So they have taken a full eco. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but they're going to do it.
P250 Deagle and a CZ,
That's
but
okay.
it's light. That's basically non-existent if you're G2. That's fine.
Sure.
Looking where the bomb is, going to try for the little bit of noise, and I say a little bit, a fair amount of noise towards B. You still have the bomb over by Palace, but not going to get away with trying to sneak through there. You have 4 players from Astralis in this position, so MBK would be, you know, praying for some insane luck to make it through this. So he's going to back away as you can already see Astralis going hunting for information. Glaive's got to be careful, though. There's a lot of players from G2 here that could easily take that gun away. So many angles to tender to now, and he just can't do it. Fighting Kenny S is fine, but he goes down to Shox and gives away the gun.
It's always going to be scary. Facing G2 and they've got pistols regardless of the buy. They need to spend $1,500 into this round. Will it pay off? What time will tell? They're going to boost up. I like this, actually. This is quite cool. Looking towards our window. Fumbling a little bit, but there's still time. P250 for Shoxy. He can... Okay, well, I was about to say jump up towards B if he wanted to, but they're going to go towards the connector now. Still a 4-on-4. No weapons picked up. It was Glaive that went down towards that connector. Just trying to see if they can get anything done here at all. Facing together. MBK's only got the Glock, so you're happy to give that up. Zipex hunting for information, and he'll get plenty of it. Going all the way in the B apartments and maybe even towards the underpass, but he'll hold in the kitchen for now.
And now we wait. Just going to have to see what G2 try and build into this. It's going to be very hard to get past the fact of where Zipnix is. They could get a plant from it, but you can already see Device coming around as well. Hopefully doesn't get too swarmed. Whoa. What is that shot? Apex finding Device is huge, but there's Zipnix now coming into the matter through the apartments. He was the one who was looking for that information, and he certainly did find it as Apex tries to make room. As he pushes towards kitchen, it's now Shox in the 1v3. No armor, does have that recovered M4 though, does spot out Magisk, and there was a world I could see him maybe finding that one. But the rest, not going to happen.
Well, there we go. Bomb planted, an extra $800 per player on the G2 side, but Astralis still win the round. 3 players up. Got a bit uncomfortable there, but Zipex certainly brought it home. Apex with that lovely shot there on Device. I think they recovered the AWP, so that's absolutely fine. Indeed, they did. All for Kenny now. 12 kills, 21 deaths. Like I said, he's been off the mark this year. I'd say 2018 has not looked good for him at all. And obviously, the team in general has not been great. They always look amazing in the group stages and the playoffs. That's when they look like a different team to me. I guess that's why they're changing things up, just have a new approach, and maybe MBK's team get leaders going to find them some form, and indeed Mixwell. Who knows what will happen there. Kenny S waiting to see if any opportunities arise here, but it's going to be Device. Nice little 90-degree flick there. He'll fall back, and that's a good call. Any nades coming towards him would have certainly taken him down to 10 HP. And Zipex will just nade towards middle. We'll see if this can land on some heads here. Doesn't look like it'll do anything at all, but still a nice idea. Just try and lob it over, get the arch. And still Zipex running the flames there as well. He was done for whatever happened, as it will be a 5 versus 3 now.
G2 don't have much ground really to play with. They do have middle, but no step towards the sites, no info, no kills to come through. Debris finding MBK has pretty much sealed the deal, unless maybe Kenny starts building up. We need some classic Kenny S here.
They're getting a bit throwy, Astralis, at this point.
A bit throwy.
A bit throwy.
Bit throwy.
But they're still absolutely fine. Taking out Kenny should secure the round. They found body indeed. They need to stop doing that when they get a huge lead like that, just running into him. Getting a bit throwy. That's what Alex and I call it. We play this like mobile phone game.
I've never heard of it.
No, it's
no,
I can't remember the name of it. Yeah. But like when Alex like starts to make a play, I'm like, Alex looks a bit throwy, and he goes, "Yep, you're right." And
okay, so you pull him back into
and you just got to tell your teammates sometimes, a bit throwy, mate. Let's not ruin the game here against Glocks. Let's calm down.
Got you.
And this looks like a force buy in many senses of the word. You've got CZ across the board, AK for Shoxy, and that's gone. Glaive completely dismantles him towards middle, and will be Dupree chiming in as well, looking for match point here. Remember, it's 2 separate best of ones. 3 points available for Astralis here. If this shot hits, Device can't do it. There's still a chance here. That one connects, but doesn't find the kill, and that should be guaranteed now in terms of the round victory. Apex dead now, of course, as we find match point. 5 in the bag for Astralis here. G2 should have almost no cash. They're only at... well, 4th stage loss bonus right now. That's not enough for a full buy. Apex had some residual cash, as you can see, had enough for exactly the AK and the armor and a decoy. You might as well buy it. He's at match point now, so
yeah.
$50 in your back pocket. You never know. Do you know what a heaton is? Have I told you that? Have you said you
No,
could heaton someone?
I haven't heard the heaton.
So in 1.6, you could throw a smoke grenade against a wall and then jump around the corner, pretend it was a flash. They turn away.
Yep.
You can do that with decoy now. So you just buy the decoy. Could save your life. Throw it off a corner. They turn around, think it's a flash. Boom, headshot. So
Beautiful.
that's what I'm saying.
Have you ever thought about doing like YouTube tutorials here?
I haven't, but maybe that's next season.
yeah.
We make that happen.
All right. Zipnix again up towards the B side of things. Sprays in. He does catch Body a fair amount, but Body catches his head off. So good start for G2. I mean, kind of weird beginning, but it works. And at this point, if it works, that's great. Device, though, so versatile in how he likes to approach things. Great connection towards MBK.
That's one of his calling cards, is being in a different position almost every single round, and that's how the great AWPers operate. But Apex, one step ahead of the curve. He will take him down as he rotates out of the palace. Now Glaive knows he has to pick up the pieces here. They'll spot one, but not for long. Kenny S completely destroys him there, and we might be going the distance here. Looking for overtime. G2 with quite a convincing round, I have to say. And Dupree, we did mention it, was the AWPer the smallest amount of times for the squad. That won't be too challenging for him to hit. Every kill he does find will be beneficial here. He knows he can't do much of this. Their money's absolutely fine. Just trying to shut down the economy of G2. They boost up. That's quite clever if you think about it. You can actually exit short completely undetected and get closer and closer, get towards that window. And Shoxy looking to take him down. I don't think he'll find him, but there it is. That one spray battle in the B apartments leads to a round victory. Body and Shoxy, both the walking dead, as they'll be on 5 and 2 HP respectively. Dupree should be able to hit that as well. Nice shot through the edge of the box, and he will indeed survive at this point. But there we go, 15-11. 4 now required.
Maybe we'll be getting a game soon. This looks, maybe G2 can pull this one back from the brink. It feels like Astralis have put their foot down for quite some time in these rounds. Their money's really quite nice as well. On the other side, it doesn't seem to hinder G2 when they have a bad purchase anyway. So, I mean, what difference does it make? But for now, we do have the AWP back on Device. Dupree not allowed to have fun. No fun allowed. And we'll see if G2 can actually do it in the gun rounds.
Here we go. Kenny has stifled somewhat with that M4A4. Nothing recovered from the previous attempts of snipers. Smoke's not coming in towards middle. Device will take that opportunity to think, you know what? You're not going to use any utility. I'll push all the way up. Hello, young man. It's going to be Kenny S. And a missed shot leads to a kill, and maybe this can go a few more rounds yet. Apex open things up, 5 versus 4. AWP down, and Kenny S will be salivating at the prospect of picking up an AWP. Didn't think he'd have that weapon this round, but he gets it early. Body chimes in as well, 5 versus 3. No mistakes to be made. Still, they can't save themselves. This round is guaranteed, and Body is taking matters into his own hands, as it looks like a clean sweep will be coming in, and maybe an eco. I didn't quite catch the residual cash. They're okay for one more buy. So there you go. And Magus is trying to do anything he can. Overtime on the cards, Lauren. It pretty much happens every time in Pro League as well.
I heard only Chad can kind of make this begin. He normally walks into the studio at 15, and then it's OT.
Like when you're waiting for a package at home, right? Let's say like from Amazon or something,
yeah,
and you're
made
at home,
your order,
and you're like, well, it did say between this time, but I do need to shower at some point in the day. But if I don't shower, will the package ever arrive? That's the question you've got, right? So you know as soon as you go in the shower, it will arrive. If you don't shower, it won't turn up at all. So what do you do?
It's one of those big questions of life, you know, like the tree falling, sound, etc.
So I normally, I kind of found a solution. I shower the door open so I can hear everything and make sure.
That's a risky game into itself, isn't it?
Oh, it is, but it's high risk, high reward. You know, you got to play the odds.
All right, well, high risk, high reward. Something G2 need to have here. They need to somehow bring this into full OT. Glaive, what is going on?
4 players towards middle. Good lord, this is getting quite spicy now as this game develops. Apex fully flashed, but the smoke comes in towards window to save him. Astralis, you can see they're floundering somewhat now. They know this could all fall apart and go to overtime. They are a team that's known to tilt, quite an emotionally invested team, especially players like Dupree. And I would say up there would be Device as well. He's affected by the swinging pendulum of Counter-Strike Go, like the Deagles, the CZs. They start losing some of those rounds. It's a guaranteed win. They have a team that's been synonymous with choking before. But I still think they'll win, but G2 certainly making things very problematic. Dupree does find a solid kill there, though, right in the back of Apex. 3 versus 3. Plenty of time, though. The bomb and T-Spawn. This kill decides everything. Right now, Shoxy, if he takes down Dupree, they win the round. If Dupree gets it, they win. But he's made the smart play and go towards Palace. Okay, I like this. So now, Dupree will get no information, but still a little bit cautious as Shox has slipped by. Could go either way here. I'd say I favor G2 slightly more.
And Dupree has no armor for the direct fight. Device could still be big. Yeah, you can see the adjustment coming through. He considered it for a second. Is that the play? But MBK as well, right behind enemy lines. This is a very topsy-turvy sort of round coming out. We'll see if Dupree can still be integral to this. Shox taking his sweet time as Dupree now considers, have I missed my mark? Is the timing right?
Oh no, he goes towards Palace. Okay, so was looking a little bit sketchy, but that's actually a really good play now. They'll be planting in the next 6 seconds, I would hope. They're really making this a little bit long-winded, but the plant will come through. They find a pickup there. Remember, Dupree's in the Palace. 2 versus 2. They shouldn't be anticipating this. At least I don't think, anyway. We'll see whether they come out on top. 1 player towards Shadow, 1 in CT spawn. Dupree, that makes him pretty much irrelevant, and so he'll get no intel here whatsoever. He doesn't want to give up his position, but knows players in towards Shadow. That should be it now. They know exactly where Shoxy is. The kill comes in. 16-12. Got a bit dicey towards the end there, but Astralis did look like the better squad. Fair play to G2. They're not going to be looking their best tonight. Obviously, Mirage is always a bit of a seesaw map for them, and they're coming in tonight with changes to the roster. But overall, solid showing from Astralis, entertaining game in terms of the clutches and the back and forth game with the economy, and some CZ play as well. You had to enjoy that.
Perfect summary coming throughout this game. I think we had some good fun, but as said, not going to be the prettiest counter-strike between these guys. We're almost certain of it. But we'll see if it continues and how far G2 can maybe push the Astralis side, who clearly don't love that French CS.